All right, a Fox Biz alert for you. Europe is having a funny way of showing concern over these recent downgrades. Markets there actually ending, for the most part, higher, even after Standard & Poor's downgraded Europe's bailout fund today, the one that would supposedly have all the countries in debt trouble. But not everyone in Europe is getting slapped. Germany, for example, totally unscathed, the only major Euro nation keeping that AAA status. Historian Jane Hampton Cook says she was born in Germany, where her dad was stationed, and says some of Germany's neighbors are watching, remembering, and I guess worrying, right?
That's right. You know, Germany's rise does give concern to some, and that's understandable. I mean, my grandmother's generation will never forget the World War II and Hitler. My father's generation will never forget the construction of the Berlin Wall that kept families separated. So yes, you know, it's understandable that there would be a fear of Germany rising in a state of economic dominance.
You know, I talked to a number of greatest generation types, blessedly the few that are still with us, and they say what worries them today is the new war is economic, and if you can win it without firing a shot, and Germany has, China so far has, because no one says boo to either, then you've won the war. Have you?
Well, what war have you won? Dominance economically isn't so bad. It's just, you know, it is better to not fire a shot and have that, you know, kind of clout. But, you know, really, I think Germany's rise is not so much Germany's rise, but France's downfall. And I think that the competition that this change in, you know, rating might really help in the long run. It might motivate France and some of these other countries to get their, you know, economic house back in order, to get unemployment down,
cut deficits. It would take an earthquake of biblical proportions to get France to work hard on anything, but I'll leave that alone. I'm kidding here. I'm going to get some French. What did you say? What did you say? I'm just saying that it is ironic that this country that was, you know, beaten twice in the last century in wars that could have changed the face of Europe, has come back in a way that it calls the shots. Its decisions on monetary and fiscal issues call the very future of a continent, to say nothing of the world. Halfway across the globe, China, much the same thing. These are two countries that, though they might sound bellicose sometimes, really have to even resort to that.
Well, you know, that's true, but you've got to remember, too, after World War II, the United States fought hard to implement democratic principles in Western Germany. And that is one reason why the wall was constructed, because East Germans didn't have jobs and they were flocking to West Germany because of this free economy, this free market economy and capitalism. And so really, you know, we have helped to bolster Germany. We supported reunification between West and East after the fall of the wall. So there's democratic principles and free market at work here that you don't see fully in China, of course, and other places like that. So I think that's the distinctive difference between, you know, the Germany of today and, of course, the Germany of years ago. So,
anything for us to worry about the fallout for us, though? We talk about what's going on in a continent half a world away and, you know, the opposite side of the world with China. Anything for us to worry about? Do we lose any prestige as a result? Because the argument has always been, if Europe is suffering, you know, we by comparison look good. I guess Germany looks good, China looks good, but by comparison, we do okay.
Well, we may do okay, but, you know, it's never good for one of our allies, our oldest ally in the case of France, to, you know, be downgraded. And so it is cause for concern. I'm not sure it's cause for huge alarm, but it is something, of course, for economists to keep their eye on and for policymakers over here to watch closely. But, you know, again, it's free market, and that's a good thing and something that we help to contribute to.
All right, I got an email from a French viewer who said, "We brought you the crepe, creep." Well, there is that. All right, Jane, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Benny, do you like crepes? Do you know? No? Okay, well, forget that. Good, keep your crepe.